I am down here in my dyeing studio, and it's been a long time since I've done a vlog, and so I'm really excited to kind of break back into that. Today I'm just actually going to be doing a few things in here, getting ready for my next shop update, which is in 2 weeks. A little bit less than 2 weeks, actually. June 29th will be the next update. I just had an update. Today is Monday, and I just had an update the previous Thursday. There is a car going by. So anyway, today is just my kind of my start of my update week. That's kind of what I'm calling it, I guess. It's just the 2 weeks leading up to my next update, and I'm getting some things ready, getting some yarn prepared for the dye sessions that I have coming up this week, also getting my big calendar set up, and this and that. I am going to be dyeing some yarn today, which you'll be here when I do that. So just have a few things that I have to get done here, so I just thought I'd bring you guys along with me. So the first thing I'm actually going to do is I have to fill out my big calendar. I have my planner. I kind of fill out like a regular planner of everything that I'm going to be doing for the next update, and I base all of that on the previous update, how things went in the previous update, what kinds of things I want to bring back, what kind of new things I want to do. So I just kind of have that marked out on my calendar here. So I'm going to go ahead and add this to my big wall calendar, which I'll show you in just a second, so I kind of know where I'm going for the next week and a half, I guess I should say, before the next update. So why don't you join me? So I'm sweating like nobody's business right now. It's really hot. I think the temperature outside right now, okay, so it's 10:46 a.m. and it's 106 degrees outside right now. I'm in my garage, and I don't have any sun coming directly onto the garage because I'm facing west, but it's still pretty warm in here. It's muggy in here more than anything else, but outside it's really hot. But the high for today is 115. I'm gonna be doing my dyeing today in the kind of like early afternoon, and that might seem like not the best time to do it, but actually it works out pretty well because the sun, like I said, is still behind where I am. It's not quite pouring into the garage yet, so it kind of keeps things a little bit more mild, but it is warm. Like I don't know, it's gonna start showing through my shirt soon, so. But we have work to do, and that's okay because I love being out here. So what I'm gonna do now is start getting my yarn kind of set out for what I'm gonna be working on in the next few days. And the way that I like to do that is using shower curtain rings. I use shower curtain rings to show the different fiber contents of the yarns that I'm dyeing, so that when I pull it out of the soak, I know, I mean, I can tell what the fiber contents are for most of them, but sometimes there's some that look similar, and I really want to make sure that I don't make any mistakes and confuse the fiber content. So that's what my rainbow of shower curtain rings is for. And so I'm gonna go ahead and start getting out the yarn and getting it ready to go. I keep this bucket of just plain water. There's not running water in this garage. I have it right upstairs, of course, but I have a spigot right around the corner that I use to fill my water buckets. And so I keep this here because when I'm doing different things in my space, my hands might get a little dusty from touching various different things, and when I'm handling the yarn, I want my hands to be clean. So this has just a little bit of a mild soap in it and clear water, and then I have a towel. So just some things that I do to make sure things stay nice for you guys. So that's what I'm gonna get started with right now. Right, DK yarn. This is my Lofty DK base. So I'm gonna get this guy sorted out. And last update, the color for DK was white. So I'll just go ahead and keep that because I already have it written up on my calendar. So white shower curtain rings for my DK base. Alright, moving on to my Hope base, which is my 80% superwash merino, 20% silk. So before I was using shower curtain rings to or before I was using colored shower curtain rings, I was just using one color of shower curtain ring, and it was always a matter of having separate soaking bins for the different bases so that I would know what's in each soaking bin, because it's really important to me that I'm not confusing yarn bases. Clearly that's something of importance. And so yeah, I just figured if I could color code things, I really work well when things are color coded. So then that way I just know that what I'm pulling out of the soaking bin is what I'm looking for, and it's super easy that way. And then also when my husband helps me, because he does come down and help me pull out yarn that I need, hang it to dry for me, or hang it to kind of drip out a little bit, he knows exactly what he's pulling out of the bin, so it works out really well. I need 6, 2, 4. And I am using red, so red it is. And I just get these on Amazon, they're super cheap. I think a big part of making this successful in the sense of running smoothly is you have to stay incredibly organized. There's so much going on in like a week of dyeing yarn for an update, especially when you're dyeing, you know, a quantity that is, you know, a larger quantity, I suppose, with multiple bases and lots of different colorways. It's important to stay on top of organization, and so finding every means possible to do that is really important and valuable. I label everything. I not only have the color-coded shower curtain rings, you know, I label my notebooks, I label the drawers where all of my yarn bases are, I label, I mean, of course I label all of my dyes. Even though they say it on the container, I like to label it so it's easier for me to see. Everything is just in its place and labeled, and so I would definitely recommend, if you're getting into dyeing yarn or starting a business, to make sure that you are one that is incredibly organized and don't overlook anything, because organization is key, like with anything, especially in like a business like this. All right, we are moving on to my 80/20 base and my DK base. I have a new yarn shipment coming soon. I kind of have been keeping leftovers after each update, so that way I can get started on my next update right away. And then also I kind of know exactly what I need for my next yarn order, to save on, you know, having excess yarn that doesn't really have a place yet. I don't have a ton of space to just stockpile bare yarn, so I like to make sure I only purchase what I need for an update. All right, I'm gonna need only 2 of these actually. 1, 2, so I can put this guy back. Okay, I am excited about this next update because we're going to be doing a lot more sock sets and more of each of the sock sets, so a larger quantity of each of the colorways, about 6 new sock set colorways, so I'm really excited about that right now. I am pulling out my 80/20 base. These are going to be used to create single minis, or excuse me, solid minis that are going to go with the different colorways for the sock sets. So all of the sock sets in this next update are going to be on my 80/20 base. It's just, in my opinion, the most versatile sock base for, you know, any sock knitter. I guess lots of people think that 75/25 would be that one, but in my opinion, that's just my favorite. All right, and we need my 75/25. I have this prep table that I'm working on right now that I love so much. Where did I found it on a restaurant supply website, and what was happening before when I would dye yarn, and you can kind of see where the table is relative to like my upper body. When I would dye yarn before, I felt like I had to bend over my table a lot more because it was lower than this, and it really put a lot of strain on my back and neck and made me really uncomfortable. And so getting this table, which is the purpose of a table like this is for working standing, because it's a prep table for food prep, it's just perfect. I can dye on this and I don't have any back strain, and I love it so much. Plus the stainless steel top is perfect for this process. It doesn't stain, obviously, but it's super easy to clean. It's just great. And I use the paper even now still. I'll cover the table with paper. Sometimes I don't. But yeah, it's great. Highly recommend it. And it has a great storage space on the bottom. Big shelf down there, so that's good too. All right, we're using clear shower curtain rings for the DK, or excuse me, for the 75-25 loft base. I need 9 of these. Oh, so soft. Smells like sheep. Gotta take a water break. Have to drink so much water down here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my gilded out. This is my 75-25, 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 5% gold stellina, and I'm obsessed with this base. I love it so much. I don't know, I like silver stellina. I have nothing against silver stellina, but I just feel like gold stellina makes both warm and cool colors kind of pop. Silver stellina I feel like does that more for cooler colors, so I feel like this is a more versatile sparkle. I don't know, and that's just in my opinion. So I'm gonna need 5 of these, and I don't have a color designated for, oh yes I do, yellow. Good color choice for this. So yellow. And we're gonna do 5. 1. I sometimes wonder what the cars think when they drive by and look in here, because it must look kind of strange. I don't know. Just seeing a woman standing at a table with a bunch of what looks like spaghetti noodles, I'm sure, from their perspective. This is today's dyeing session, and I'm going to do this for the rest of my week. I have a lot more yarn that I need to get hooked onto shower curtain rings and set out. So this is all I'm going to be doing for today, or this is all I'm going to dye for today, and then I'm going to have lots more for the rest of the week. But I'm going to go ahead and get all of my other yarn for the rest of the week sorted with shower curtain rings, and then I'll be back and we'll start soaking the yarn and getting ready to dye the yarn. So part of the difficulty of not having running water is that when you're creating your big baths of water for soaking the yarn prior to dyeing it, you have to kind of either go up the stairs and get the yarn, or get the water and bring it back down, or I have to go around the corner to the spigot, fill up my bucket, bring it back, empty it into my big Rubbermaid bin here, and then create it that way. So there is a lot of like labor involved in doing this for me, but it's, yeah, it's great, it's exercise. So I'm just gonna kind of show you what I mean by that. So right now I have my Rubbermaid bucket. This is where I'm going to do today's soak, and it's full. It has some water in it right now. It has about 2 of these full of water, but I have a feeling I'm going to need more. So I'm going to go ahead and add my yarn for today into this bucket, and we're going to see how that goes. Okay, Okay, so I filled this bucket as much as I can with yarn. I'm gonna need to add a little bit more water into the bucket, but I'm actually thinking that I'm gonna get another bucket and just have 2 soaking buckets. So here is this bucket so far. I'm gonna need another bucket for the rest of my yarn, and I'm gonna need to kind of just press some of this down in here to really soak up, to get all the water into the fiber. There's air in the fibers and you wanna make sure that you can gently press out some of that air. I let my yarn soak for at least an hour to 2 hours before I dye it, and in most cases I soak it overnight, and so that really makes sure that all the fiber is taken up by water. All of the air holes or air pockets in the fiber has water flowing through and making sure that it is completely saturated. So okay, I am going to walk over here, get another bucket that I'm going to use for the other portion of yarn that I have, which is right there. That's going to go into this bucket. I'm going to get my water for this bucket and get it going. It's still not enough water, so I have to go back to the spigot. I'm gonna have huge biceps, like in no time. Okay, so my yarn for today is soaking and ready to go. I just gotta let it soak for a couple of hours. I'm gonna go upstairs and have some lunch with my little boy and my husband, and then I'll be back down here after Angus goes down for a nap to get a lot of dyeing done. I'm gonna be doing cactus flower today. Gotta Lava Mauna Loa is coming. I'm gonna be doing some saguaro solids for minis for the cactus flower sock sets. Your pink is showing on my gilded base and my 7525, and I'm doing a Pearl Jam sock set for this update, so I'm going to be working on the solid mini that goes with the Pearl Jam. So I've got my work cut out for me today. Tomorrow is our anniversary celebration. Our actual wedding anniversary is the 26th of June, but tomorrow we're going to the Strip, to the Cosmopolitan Hotel, and we're having a little staycation for our anniversary, so I'm not doing any dyeing tomorrow, but I'll be picking back up on Wednesday. And yeah, so I'm looking up there at my calendar and I've got my work cut out for me, but I'm so excited. I love to be down here doing it. All right, so stay tuned and we'll be dyeing next. All right, so I'm back down in the garage right now and I'm getting ready to dye up my yarn, but first I want to hang some of it out to dry to let some of that excess water kind of drip out a little bit so it takes up dye a little bit more readily. So I have behind me, you can see a couple skeins of yarn and they are hanging and dripping into a Rubbermaid tub down here. I try to save as much of the water as I can because it can be reused for soaking, for washing, for rinsing my hands, for anything like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and add some more skeins of yarn up to that pole, let them drip a little bit. And while that's happening, I'm gonna get my pots ready to go. Okay, so it is the next day, and yesterday I did lots of dyeing and had some help from my mom who came over with to help me with Angus, who is now, as we speak, watching Moana in a fox costume from last Halloween. But we're just hanging out right now, taking it easy. We're gonna put him down for a nap here, and then when he gets up, we're taking him over to my parents' place, and he's gonna spend the night over there while we go to the Strip because we have a hotel room tonight at the Cosmopolitan for our anniversary. So we're gonna be doing that. But I wanted to show you guys the yarn that I dyed yesterday. I wasn't able to dye everything I had planned for, you know, scheduling reasons, whatever, but I'll be doing some more of that tomorrow when we get back. But this is what I have from yesterday's dyeing session. So here is yesterday's loot. This is Gotta Lava Mauna Loa. Your pink is showing here. There's some DK cactus flower, and then there's some 80/20 and 2 solids over there that are gonna be made into minis for sock sets. So this is pretty much all I did yesterday. This is about between 25 and 28 skeins of yarn, which is, you know, pretty good for a nap time dyeing session, which is what that was yesterday, so that works out really well. But there's lots more to come because I think this next update is gonna be a little bit bigger than the previous one. So I'm excited. So this is just the tip of the iceberg. So I gotta get this stuff skeined up and put off to the side ready to be labeled. So that's what I'm gonna do right now.